Hello, this is Garrett. Thank you for tuning in today, where I'm going to talk for 5 minutes about embarrassing moments. I believe that is what I committed to making my next video about. With the end of the last video that I shot about successfully raising 7 children, or raising 7 children, or successful parenting, or whatever it was. I think I combined more than one topic suggestion from Tabitha Bowline. But in any event, I said I would talk about embarrassing moments with my next video, and so that's what I'm going to do. I've changed the angle. Anybody who's watched a couple of the earlier 5-minute videos I've shot will notice it's slightly different, and also a little bit darker. So I'm trying something different here, where I've got this light up globe that we obtained from my grandparents. It was something that they had in their home in Glendive for a good long while, and I don't know how old it is, but I really rather like it. And it was down in my 2 older boys' room, their bedroom in the basement. But here today, I was cleaning my desk, which I feel also pretty good about. It's a Saturday morning, and I've got my desk clean. And I decided I was going to take the lamp that was sitting on my desk, that every time I would bump my desk or walk through the room, it would cause that lamp to shake a little bit, and there was a screw loose or two, and it would make this, it's just really, really obnoxious. And so now that is gone, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I felt like I should still have some kind of a light on my desk. And so now I've got this beautiful globe. My wife had said, that would be a great thing to have eventually with the YouTube videos, is have some kind of a big, like, woodblock map of the world behind me. That would be kind of a neat feature. I notice Paul Joseph Watson has a big map of the world behind him on most of his videos that he shoots, and it creates kind of a neat effect. In this case, this will be a little bit different. It's cool with shooting these videos with my phone. If I just make the lighting and the focus for the camera here, if I make it center on this lit up globe, it'll actually give a little bit of a darker, higher contrast effect for my face as I'm talking. So anyway, I'm trying something different, and as with all of these videos, I spend the first couple of minutes before I set my timer. I spend the first couple of minutes just telling you about how I am evolving this process, because that's half of why I'm doing it, is just to see what it's like to have a YouTube channel. After maybe a year or 2 years, I'll get comfortable enough with it that I'm settled into a process, and I stop talking about that, and I just dive right into my topic. Probably anybody who's wanting to watch these on a regular basis is like, yeah, can we just skip to that? It's about time already. But in any event, at least for the time being, it's on my mind, and so that's part of what I'm going to end up talking about when I start up the video. So anyway, starting my 5-minute timer, where I'm going to talk about embarrassing moments. So, embarrassing moments. The first thing that comes to mind, aside from instances where my children have been acting up in public, which I will just say, there are few things in life that are more embarrassing than when your children are misbehaving in front of people that you maybe want to impress, or you want them to think well of you. That can be absolutely horrifying. Certainly can be for me. I think sometimes being embarrassed by the way your kids behave in front of others is a sign that you've got some work to do as a parent. And sometimes, it's a sign that maybe, I don't know, maybe you care a little bit too much what other people think. It could be both and, I don't know, in my case. But, aside from that, just things that I've personally, just the before I was a parent, let's say, that I was embarrassed by. One would be back in high school. I went to a summer camp, and I don't know what possessed me to do this, but somehow we were kind of goofing off in the church van on the way to summer camp or something like that. And I made an impersonation of Hugh Jackman's character from X-Men. He plays Wolverine, and he's got just kind of something he does with his eyebrows and whatnot like that. And I was just being goofy, and so I impersonated him with my face. And then there was something else I had done. I don't remember if it was right then or if it was later, but I impersonated a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. And again, I don't know what came over me that I did this, but once we actually got to camp, there was some weird game that was played where if somebody received mail while they were there for summer camp, they had to get up in front of everybody and act out whatever it was their cabin mates or their whatever came up with. And boy howdy did it come back to bite me that I had impersonated Wolverine from the X-Men, and I had also impersonated at another time a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. Just the sound that they made. I don't think I actually impersonated more than that. But that became the thing that I was then told I was supposed to do in front of everybody in the camp. And I did it. I was being a good sport, but I was mortified, I guess you could say. I looked for something to hide under, or some way to just escape as soon as that was done, because I was mortified. But honestly, I guess for the most part, since high school, I've tried to resist or fight against being embarrassed easily. Where there was a certain time when in homeschooling where I was pretty insulated and pretty sensitive to being made fun of, and I played on one baseball team. The first year I ever played baseball, I got made fun of pretty mercilessly. There was, some comments that were made by some of the kids about, who was going to teach me sex ed, my mom, and just stuff like that. And they just were just jerks. Most of the guys that I was playing baseball with, at least I felt like they were. And then, so that year just didn't go well. Next year I played baseball. I made up my mind. I resolved that I was going to make fun of myself, be self-deprecating, and if somebody started making a joke about me, I was going to give it right back, and if they started making a joke about me, I would, laugh even harder at their joke than they did, and then I would, make a joke on top of their joke to where it sounded like it was actually me originally, that I was, it was my joke on myself. So then we would be laughing together instead of them laughing at me. And I think ever since then, I've been a lot less embarrassed, certainly by anything that I might do. If I do something dumb or say something stupid, I just go with it, I guess. So anyway, that is 5 minutes talking about embarrassing moments. And that's going to be, okay, good. That's going to be all for this video. I guess I already used up quite a bit of my buffer time on the front end telling you about this globe lamp, and I wanted changing up with the angle here. But tune in next episode to me telling you my favorite quote and what it means to me. For this one, thank you, Daniel Chazé. Again, this is 2 topics you've suggested that I have gone with. You had really good ones. All 5 of the suggestions you had were really, really good. Same with Sherilyn Dreyer. Sherilyn's got 5 topics that are really, really good. I'm going to be reluctant to skip out on any of them. But in any event, that's all for today. Thank you. God bless. Have a good weekend.